With The Undertaker concerned over his WWE Hall of Fame induction and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for March 20th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. After CM Punk came out on top of his dog collar match against MJF, Disco Inferno criticized AEW and the Keeping It 100 podcast for their underwhelming storylines for Punk. I think the overall backlash against CM Punk was the fact that it was not able to draw as much as he could have if he would have come in hot. I think that really is the only thing that has been quite detrimental to Punk's run. It is the fact that it just took so long to get where they were going, you know? It just got boring after a while, and I don't think the interest has picked up considerably since the time they brought him in, and the numbers kind of show that. With Sami Zayn looking to face Jackass star Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania, he revealed on Talking Smack what he will do to his future opponent. I really have to be honest, I don't feel like answering these questions. I feel I shouldn't be here. I feel like I should be home with my Intercontinental Championship. I should be out. I should be dancing the night away. I should be celebrating, but I'm not. All because of the fact that I am preoccupied 24/7 with Johnny Knoxville, who has infiltrated my world by bringing his world of stunts, pranks, tricks, and everything else. I get to punish this man in very unconventional ways, and nothing is going to make me happier. He has this amazing threshold for pain. He can withstand abuse that very few humans can, and I get to test exactly how far that gets to go. I get to do something at WrestleMania that a 2,000-pound bull couldn't do. I'm going to end Johnny Knoxville's career once and for all. Brock Lesnar is set for a title unification bout at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. While many have thought of Lesnar as not being a people person, he's shown a new side of himself recently. As Natalia noted on the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling podcast, that Brock is always helping out WWE stars. People don't know this, and maybe this is too much to say. I don't want to ruin Brock's persona. Brock watches all of our matches in Gorilla. The last match that I had on SmackDown, he watched and he critiqued and gave us feedback, gave us advice, told us what we could do better. He stayed there and watched, and it was really so cool getting advice from him. He's such a badass, but I really look up to him. I really like him, and he gives back. When it's time to give back to somebody, he's getting knocked on his ass because he knows how to fight, and I love that about him. He really leads by example. I think he's very talented at what he does, and what I see backstage is him giving back. I like to go to Brock for advice, and he does know what he's talking about. He told me a dream match for him would have been to wrestle Bret Hart. We were talking last week, and he said that would have been a dream match because I told him how much Bret was a fan of his work. I think Brock is awesome. Former UFC competitor Paige VanZant has been making her presence felt in AEW alongside those from Dan Lambert's American Top Team. Talking about her decision to join the promotion on WFAN Sports Radio, Paige said, "The whole show is what drew me into wrestling, you know? I mean, I've been asked about pro wrestling for a really long time. I've kind of always known it was going to be part of my journey in my life. I just didn't know when the opportunity was going to take off, and it got to a point where I showed up with Dan Lambert and the story took off, and I realized I wanted to be a part of the show. I wanted to continue this journey with AEW and ended up signing a contract. Despite signing with AEW, VanZant will also continue to compete in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. After going viral in her debut match in February on NXT for her unorthodox pinfall, Nikita Lyons told WWE on Facebook that she never expected this to blow up. "I was still, did that just happen? I didn't look at my phone until I got home. I was fortunate to have my parents there, my man, a bunch of friends came. I was super grateful, and keeping that in mind that people close to me came to support me. That means a lot. After I talked to my coaches and got all that going, people in the back were telling me great job. I just kind of sat there and continued to watch the show. I didn't get out of my gear until until the show was over. I don't even want to go to the locker room. I want to bask in this moment. It was beautiful. When I got on social media, I was like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting this reaction. A lot of people thought the finish was the split, but technically the finish was the tornado kick. The split was how I pinned her. That's part of it, and that's what went viral. I was so surprised by that. Speaking about his upcoming Hall of Fame induction, The Undertaker revealed to Dallas Morning News that he is concerned over Vince McMahon inducting him on April Fool's Day. I have absolutely no clue what he's going to say. I'm a little bit nervous. There's no one that Vince loves to play practical jokes on more than me. The fact that the Hall of Fame is on April Fool's Day, who knows what's going to happen. I do know it's going to be emotional. I'm not sure to what length he will go to not completely fall apart and be emotional. Taker would go on to recall a time he got stuck in one of his coats live on Monday Night Raw. I had this coat made for WrestleMania. It was unbelievable. It was one of the hooded ones. I didn't wear a hat, so I wore the hooded one. The thing has got these huge spines on it. It was one of the really cool coats that I had. At WrestleMania, I wore it. It came off perfectly. It just slipped right down off my back. It was flawless. Thank goodness. A couple of months later, they were about to have the 700th episode of Raw. They called me and said, hey, would you come do the 700th episode of Raw? It'll be you and Kane against two guys. Need you out there, pretty much crush them. Do a little Brothers of Destruction and that's it. I was like, sure, absolutely. So I said, I'm going to wear that coat again. I hadn't worn it since. Our opponents made their entrance. Kane makes his entrance. I make my entrance. As I go to take my coat off, the coat folds. It basically gets stuck on my mitts, my MMA mitts. The more I tug to try to get out of them, the tighter it gets. Because the leather on this coat was really thick, I can't get out of this coat, right? It's Monday Night Raw. It's live TV. WWE star Damian Priest previously competed in Ring of Honor as Punishment Martinez, as he did an interview recently with Shaq Wrestling talking about AEW President Tony Khan becoming the new owner of ROH. Initially, when they said they were going to cancel contracts and take a break, honestly, it comes down to the boys and the girls. Like, these are friends, these are human beings. So initially, it sucks and it's heartbreaking. I was like, oh man, people are out of work. But then the other side kind of kicks in and it's like, man, but these people are too incredible to not be successful. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much talent and clearly everybody's okay, everybody's fine. With the purchase, it's good. It's going to stay alive. That's good for the business. That's good for everybody. And at least that legacy of Ring of Honor won't die. You know what I mean? I think that's cool. And I don't know whatever plans they have, but hopefully it just continues giving people opportunities for a platform to enjoy their lives and follow their dreams. So I'm all for it. I'm happy that things didn't just fade away for that brand. Following his departure from WWE, Jeff Hardy has made his way to AEW, debuting on Dynamite to save his brother Matt from Andrade, Private Party, and The Butcher and the Blade. On Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray criticized this segment for being wonky. I like what I see. I think there really is something missing. I don't know what it is. I think people just were not expecting Matt and Jeff to stand across from Darby and Sting. I think the Jeff run-in a couple of weeks ago was a little wonky and odd, from the dancing to who really was getting saved. I think there was enough people scratching their hands that it will give the Hardys an A, but I would probably want to give them an A+. With the Hardy Boys defeating Private Party on Dynamite last week, it'll be interesting to see what's next for them. With former WWE star Toni Storm launching an OnlyFans recently, Ryan Satin of Fox Sports noted that she made nearly $10,000 in less than an hour after launching a profile. She would end up trending on Twitter, as many have reacted to this. Wrestling fans so thirsty. Toni Storm or any other female launches an OnlyFans and you whip out the credit card. Toni Storm getting $20 a month from thousands of simps for doing a photo spread that WWF Divas had to do for free in 2001. Legendary. I think we can all agree that Toni Storm is gorgeous, a damn good wrestler, and an even smarter businesswoman. Get that paper, sis. I respect that a lot. Good for Toni Storm making bank by dudes being mad horny. I remember a few years ago when 3 blurry nudes almost caused her to leave the business and people acted like it was the worst thing that ever happened on earth. Now some of them are shelling out dollars for her OnlyFans. My thoughts on Toni Storm? You go, girl. Take that money from the simps who post gifs of your cheeks every week. She's a grown woman doing what she wants. Not sure why everyone thinks OnlyFans is just porn. Lots of talented artists on there. It's 2022, not 1942. Toni Storm really left WWE for OnlyFans. Toni Storm's made a minimum $33,000 in about 11 hours. The fact that Toni Storm left WWE only then to make an OnlyFans actually makes me respect her so much more. After becoming an Olympic gold medalist and then signing with WWE, Gable Steveson would go on to win yet another NCAA title. With all these accolades, it comes as no surprise that Gable would confirm to ESPN that he is retiring from the sport, as he said, "I'm done. I did what I came to do. I was going to win the Olympic gold and win the national tournament again." He would place his wrestling shoes at the mat center following his victory, signifying he is done. WWE commentator Corey Graves would then take to Twitter to write, "Congrats Gable on an untouchable amateur career. Now, let's get that next chapter started. You busy Monday?" After working as a presenter and interviewer for WWE, Renee Paquette was asked about opening an OnlyFans on the MacMania podcast, to which she responded, "I don't feel like my personality necessarily gels with that. Like, I don't know. I think for the people that it works for, hell yeah. Get out there and make that money. Do the thing that makes you happy, by all means. I just think if all of a sudden I signed up for OnlyFans, people would be like, no, I think I'm good. I don't think I want you to see that. I don't think people need that sexier side of me. Also, it's like, I don't know. There's like a goofiness to me. Me doing like a legit sexy photo, I'm like sweating right now thinking about it. No one needs it." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.